I just finished an on-air show, but it was so quick. I think we were just on stage for about 13 minutes and didn't get into any of those tips and tricks, especially with makeup. And I know that's a big question. Another one is why use the tweezers? What makes them different? And so I'd love to just share with you why I do a couple of my lifts, because we left set without me doing the other side. And so I'm gonna do my own lift, but I love to talk about the different sizes. I always talk about the different sizes. Now, we did the assortment pack today, which we only sell here at this network, but I like seeing the 4s and the 5s because that's really a casual daytime look for me. And the 7 and 8s and the 6s all have that bigger arch, and so that's going to be really more your dramatic. Everything is patented protected. I don't know if you guys all know that, but we make it in Germany, and everything is patented protected for the designs, and it has this nice skin-like technology. So what I'm going to do is just kind of put one on my hand so you can really see. The biggest tip and that we have that we want you to know about is the pressing and holding technique. A lot of times, a lot of our clients will just kind of do a little swipe and it never gets really bonded. So pressing and holding really on the eyelid will really change that whole transparency. So if you can see it or feel it, the size or placement is wrong, or you just haven't bonded it enough. So I'll show you kind of an example. So I've got a 7mm on tonight, and so just gonna go ahead and even out the other side. You'll notice that my eyebrow is down and everything else. So actually, let me peel it for you so you can really see what I'm doing. Now, I like to kind of peel it from one side. There's no left or right, but I do find it easy to get the tweezers and really kind of just peel that off as straight as possible. So I have it just there for me now. I can really kind of look in the mirror and identify where to place it. Now, starting where to place it, identifying the fold, so as folds go, mine is pretty straight across. So what I want to do is just raise my brow. Now, sometimes that doesn't clear it up all the way. And so raising the chin and raising the brow, or closing one eye, whatever you can do, but raising that in. Now, prepping the skin is so important. We just did a focus group, and 9 out of 10 clients said when they got them home, they wouldn't have prepared their skin, which means they put this on top of oils and powders and everything else that can really damage the strip and not make it look as good as it should. So we want to prepare the skin. Now, just a tissue for me, because I didn't have any makeup on, but powder is transport across our eyelid as we go through the day. So washing your face in the morning is really ideal. We've got a lot of tutorials of morning routines and me doing a lot of different sizes, but tonight I'm going to do my 7s. So identifying the fold. Now we want to lift it. We've prepared it. And so we've identified which strip we're going to have today. And so now I like a much smaller one, like a little 4 or 5 during the day. I don't need a big Marilyn Monroe during the day to go into the office and have coffee. So I do prefer this as my nighttime look. So we've prepared the skin, we've identified where that is folding. I like to capture the fold within the strip. Now, some of you may want to put it lower by the lash line, but a lot of clients will put it way higher, like here's where I want that eyelid. And so you have to capture that fold within the strip. So what I mean by that is identify where that is folding. Now we want to lift that excess skin so we're not holding it down with the strip. We don't have all of our motor function if we do that. So identify it. Now I can just simply close one eye, I can lift it, I can raise my chin. We want to smooth it out, but seeing where it's folding is key. So smoothing it out, and I like to give it a little tap. When you tap it just a little bit, it's really great because now it's not going to move on you, and slight twist with the tweezers. If you happen to see one of the edges, it means that you've maybe damaged it or you just haven't bonded it yet. Isn't that a great lift right there? So this is a little bit right there. I can see that film. I like to just turn my little tweezers around and really press and hold it. You can do this with your finger as well. It's no worries, but pressing and holding is really what's going to make it see-through. Now, you can't see them on me. And so now I've got eyelids, and it's great. Now I can do my mascara, I can go about my day. And so that's as easy as it is. Now, placement could take practice with anything new. So what I like to do is just play around with this one. I don't want to go through 7 or 8 strips, okay? So plus that'll hurt, okay? So what we want to do is we want to just take this one off, even though my lift is really good and I'm ready to go. I'm going to show you, if we're going to practice with it, let's just go ahead and peel it back off. Kind of like that push-up bra. Things will fall back down. So that's kind of what this acts like. So if that fold, let me just show you this, because if my finger is that fold and I block it with the strip, okay, I block it, it can no longer fold there. It has to find the top of the strip to fold. So whether that's a 4, 5, 6, 7 millimeter, it's gonna fold at the very top. And so again, identifying it, lift, and just play around. Now this is my practice strip. My practice strip is not going to be invisible as I practice with it because we're using it. And it's that one-time adhesive. So what we're doing is just kind of, maybe I want to go out and up. Some of my clients, it's better inside towards their nose. Some are more out and up. If you're crashed on the sides, you may need that extra. So really just play around with this one strip. And then when you really identify exactly where you want it, I like that. I like that one's great. It's not gonna be see-through, remember, but now I get to put a nice new one on for the day. So I have these little travel tweezers. Here's the little difference in the tweezers. So why I developed these? I'm allergic to metals. So I was allergic to other tweezers, but we also sell to a lot of spas where they need to bake these, so acrylic baked coating. But they're also the thinnest tweezer on the market, super thin. And the reason for that is so we can get under here and we're not cross-contaminating. A lot of us have tweezers that are 10 years old and have been thrown in our drawer for years and used for crafts, wound care, acne, hair, and they're contaminated. And whatever's on those tweezers we can transport to the strip. And so we don't want to do that. If we have oils or anything else like that, then the oils are going to break that bond and you'll never get that all the way down. So hopefully that's a good tip for you. And if you use these for other things, you just want to do an alcohol and make sure they're clean. So again, quickly identifying the fold, lifting, however you can smooth that out, a little tap, and I prefer a little slight angle tonight. A little press, making sure those edges are bonded, and you're good to go. That is as easy as it is. Blah, I don't have my words tonight because it's 4 a.m. But that's what I get for doing a raw YouTube for you guys. Education, so I get to go home with you and help you with all those things. But some of the other tips that I wanted to say tonight is, gosh, maybe your lashes are coming off too soon. You know, when we have heavy hooded eyelids, we can push those eyelashes off, or we're putting primers and foundations that have mineral oils on them. So another thing is, do we want to put eyeshadow on this? Well, I don't wear eyeshadow, but we developed COLORSET for that reason, because those oils, same oils that are pushing and assisting with those lashes coming off too soon, are the same oils that will disrupt that strip, because oils and adhesive don't mix. So we needed to come up with a formula. Now I still have that strip on my hand that I put on a little bit ago, and you can't see it. I'm under heavy makeup lights. But I'm going to prove to you that it's there, if I can find it. And I'm just going to kind of put this across. Now this is the COLORSET. We developed it, it's made from cocoa glycerides. So none of those heavy mineral oils that will disrupt the strip, but I'm kind of being really liberal with this because I want you to see the strip goes across here. You can't see this half, okay? But even though you can't see it, it's still 2 surfaces. So makeup could take 2 different ways, which is why some of my clients get 2 different results. So it takes 2 different ways because there's 2 surfaces. So that makes sense, we need to prime it. But other primers on the market have mineral oil in it, so the oil and adhesive will break that bond. So we developed the COLORSET as a primer pencil. It's a shadow primer, because you don't need anything underneath the strip, and you don't need anything to cover the strip. You just need something to adhere that shadow. So I have a generic shadow palette. I'm gonna demonstrate the black, because I always say black doesn't lie. And so here's that strip that you can't see, but if I just don't prime it or anything, you can kind of see it tucked to 2 different ways. So if you want to go around it all day long doing the brow bone and highlighters and liners and lashes, you can. But if you want to go directly on the strip, you want to prime it with a primer that's not going to disrupt. Now you'll happen to notice that our primer is multi-use. It 10 times the pigment of the shadow. Now it actually looks like the shadow palette, which is rare. It covers the strip really well. It's actually waterproof, so I could actually pour water over this, and it's really resilient. It repels the water. So if you live in a humid area like me, then it's really key. Can you see the strip? It's so cool. So that's that primer. Be liberal with it. Play around with some different shadows on your hand. Use one strip. Play around with some different shadows. We have a lot of makeup artists that do just that, and they really find what works best. But priming is key. Now I'm just gonna clear my makeup off. You definitely don't want me doing your eyeshadow. Every time I do, I look like I was mugged in the alley. I cannot do shadow to save my life. But the good news is, I really want to hit on this point too. Those lighter shadows are perfectly fine over the strip. Those neutral tones, you don't need a primer at all. And so that's really good. If you want a little sparkle and highlight like you just saw me do, right there, that's great. You can go over the strip, that's fine. But if you want to do those darker shadows or heavier shadows, you definitely need to prime the strip, because otherwise shadows are going to take two different ways, as you just saw. So let me just take this off. Oh, I was going to prove to you that the strip was still there. Strip was still there, and my hand is all clean. I did not, and I rubbed on it, and I did everything. So it's because I bonded it really well. Pressing and holding, I can't say that enough. I do conferences and I say press and hold, press and hold, press and hold, and teach makeup artists, and everybody, like, you know, somebody's just gonna do a light little swipe and tap and say, well, I can see it. So if you can see it, it's not bonded yet. If you can feel it, it really means the strip's either too big for you or you need to play around with that positioning. Now I've mastered my position. I tried it 3 or 4 times. I put a nice new one on for the day. I press and hold. I don't need anything else. But that primer, multi-purpose. So as you can see, highlighting all around the eyebrow, down by the cheekbone, contouring is what everybody's doing. So I go down the nose, Cupid's bow. Do you want 10 times the pigment on your lip liner? We can use it on the lip liner. But one of the things I'm really proud of is that we made this from using cocoa glycerides. And so cocoa glycerides is a safe product for around your eye. And you can actually get into the waterline. You can get in right where I get kind of a little dark and ashy. I like to give myself a little sparkle. You know, blend it, use your beauty blenders, use your fingers, use your brushes. But I like to get these 2 little spots, and I just kind of do a little twist. And if I do a couple little twists, you really see I really lightened it and brightened it super easy, and with minimal effort. I have a nice bright lifted eyelid. 2 products, the strips, and then brighten it up, because that's what we want to do. Now you can see I've got my eyebrows are up, everything is great, you know, and at the end of the day I can take it off, but you know, I can also sleep in them. I'll wake up looking more refreshed. And I think that's a lot of the tips that I wanted to go over with you. I'm just kind of looking through some of the notes. You know, when you go through one of the variety packs or the assortment of sizes, I like to say that's a discovery, because you're going to discover your everyday go-to. My everyday go-to is probably a little 4 millimeter. That's this little one. I put on these tonight because I wanted a little bit more voomph. Now, can everybody wear all sizes? Absolutely not. That's what's so important about starting with a variety pack. You're going to discover what your favorite sizes are, and you discover your favorite daytime everyday look, discover your favorite nighttime date night look. You know, we have weddings, and you know, we have just going into the office. So, but I say, why not look refreshed every single day? The price point is great. It's safe. It's simple. It's a great, simple, safe solution for heavy hooded eyelids. And so if you bought the variety pack and you're like, I don't know that I'm going to use those other bigger sizes, share them with your friend or your mom. Or what you can do is grow into those gradually. There's a 3-year shelf life on them. So maybe you're a 4 or 5 right now. Maybe next year you might be a 6. You might grow into those 7s. But if the 8s are too big, you now know that that's not your favorite size. But I still wear all of them. The 8s are hard for me to put on, and the 3s don't do too much for me. So that's what I like about this collection is really all those favorite sizes that I personally wear. And so everything is German, made, it's hypoallergenic, it's latex free, which is so important because I'm really, really allergic to glues, latex, let's see, metals, which is why I developed the German stainless steel tweezers. It's really good. They're so sharp and they go under. They're great for everything, but I like my little travel ones because the airport's not going to take these little guys, and they fit in the little case, in the little Lids by Design case. Always keep the little rubber tip because they are really sharp. But I hope those are some tips. We'll always continue to grow the education. And so, you know, just think of the confidence that you're gonna have. You know, that was really something that was really impacting me, is the confidence, you know, having those heavy, tired lids. People were asking me if I just woke up, you know, what was wrong with me, if I was grumpy. And so just think about those next occasions and think about how you're gonna feel, you know, going into work, going on that date night, going to your daughter's wedding. But it's a safe, easy solution to, you know, a very common everyday problem that so many of us struggle with. But now you don't have to. You know, there was 2 options on the market before: either live with it or cut it off. And right now you don't have to. So use our Lids by Design for your everyday and experiment with a couple of bigger sizes for that date night. So I hope that helps.